How I used Indigenous medicines to recover quickly from a cold. I hate relying on medication that comes from a pharmacy, especially when there's natural, traditional Indigenous medicines that can supercharge your recovery from a cold or other illness. I recently just went through an awful cold, and while using some natural remedies and spiritual teachings, it really helped me to recover much quicker. Let's get into it. Best ways to feel better when you're sick is to use the medicine wheel teaching 4 states of wellness. The 4 states of being in the medicine wheel are interconnected in energizing your healing to recover quicker, connecting our spiritual states to our physical, emotional, and mental state. You can do this by using areas of the medicine wheel that you are not feeling optimal in to lean on other areas of your wellness that can help to increase the energy for the area that is less optimal. For example, when you're sick, if your physical state of being is not at an optimal level and is struggling, suffering, and needing to be improved, using the 3 other areas, your spiritual, emotional, and mental being, to help to increase your physical strength so that you're feeling better all around and using the interconnectivity to your advantage. So some ways that you can improve your spiritual wellness are things like smudging with sage. Meditation can help you to improve your spiritual wellness and your spiritual state to then improve the other areas of wellness that may be struggling as a result of your illness. When you're smudging with sage, reciting a smudge prayer to ask Creator for strength or patience while coping and recovering with your illness can be really helpful. Not just asking for a quick recovery because you need to be healthier for an event that's coming up, but asking yourself instead for patience and grace in allowing yourself the time that your body requires in order to heal, or giving yourself the strength to refrain from certain activities or exercises that are going to elongate your illness. Ask Creator for things that are internal, you're asking yourself for choices that you can make and can empower you to be stronger so that you can take your own health and your own healing in your own hands. Now, in order to recover from an illness or from a cold, using your physical state of being is extremely beneficial from my own experiences. So what this means is leaning into your physical wellness in order to improve your mood and feel better so that you are going to increase your energy and your blood flow to speed up that recovery. So this looks like body movement, eating really healthy, good, whole foods, drinking lots of water and tea, getting outside in the natural elements, allowing yourself to breathe in fresh air, maybe allowing the wind of the cold air to hit your face and go through your lungs, getting your body moving. So you're having all of the energy flowing in your body to help wake your senses and get recovering faster. Now, you can also feel better by channeling emotional energy. So if you've ever had a broken heart or even experienced a bad fight, you know the toll emotional strain can have and how it can wear you down and suck the good energy out of your heart. The same thing can happen when you channel your emotional being to be used to bring in positive energy, bring in emotional energy through positive feelings within your personal or professional relationships. This can help you to recover from sicknesses faster by leaning into your loved ones and helping them to make you feel better and feel connected with them so that you are enhancing your emotional state of being, which will naturally connect to the area of physical and even mental and intellectual state of being that could be suffering while you are suffering from your cold or trying to recover from your illness. Recovering from being sick by channeling mental or intellectual energy could result in just rest, right? So if you're often stimulating your brain by learning and reading and being on the computer or like thinking really intensely for your job, and if you're feeling sick because you need time and space away from that environment, then that might look like reading a book. It might just be sleeping, right? Having naps and time for your body to be asleep and getting long, uninterrupted sleep helps to enhance your brain power the most. Brain health experts study the importance of sleep and how it is the most powerful way to enhance your intellectual and mental health. That might just be the case of you getting more sleep and it improving your mental well-being, your intellectual well-being, so that you can then show up when you are all rested up and recuperated in order to take on the day, even if you are under the weather with a cold or feeling sick. The second way to recover quicker from a cold is using sacred medicines. What happens if you need some medicines to help? Should you use medication from your doctor or pharmacy? I use certain special sacred medicines to help when I'm sick, in addition to the 4 sacred medicines being tobacco, sweetgrass, sage, and cedar. I use a sacred medicine called Wecan. I'll tell you more about it here and how I used it when I was sick. Luckily, I was given some Wecan from my mom. This is a sacred medicine that is in the form of a root. As you can see, it looks like it's like a little root, and when you wet it in your mouth and you gently squeeze it with your teeth, not chew on it, but just squeeze it with your teeth, it releases some medicine that will prevent you from coughing. This is the most effective cough control medicine that you can use. It's called Wecan. That's an Ojibwe word, an Anishinaabemowin word for this root. That is very helpful. And my mom gave me some just tonight to help with my cold, with my cough. So, mummy. Finally, if none of these things are working for you, what can you do? As I was using all of these remedies to feel better and recover from my seasonal illness, my cold was still lingering longer than it should have. And this is why I want to mention a few teachings that can help with the frustration of not healing fast enough. This brings us to the third way that you can help yourself feel better when you have a cold, which is to use the 7 grandfather teachings. If your health is not improving despite taking medicines that are both traditional and pharmaceutical, some Indigenous teachings that can help to recenter yourself when things aren't working and you're tired and angry and just sick of being sick. The 7 grandfather teachings are foundational Indigenous teachings of Anishinaabe people. They're also teachings of communal survival that can help us to feel better and connected with ourselves. As the 3 teachings that I wanted to share with you that can be helpful when you're frustrated for feeling sick are the following. First, starting with the teaching of respect. Respect for all living things and all living beings on Mother Earth can help you to give respect to other energies and beings that you are sharing this earth with, sharing the land with, sharing your space with, which means that even when there are energies and organisms that are causing you to be sick, which means bacteria and other things that can be wearing you down and causing these illnesses to take over your health, having respect for the fact that those energies have power and that they exist and that you need to build up your own immunity, antibodies, and health in order to combat illnesses, and give respect to the fact that you're not always going to be healthy and that you are going to be susceptible to some of these illnesses that are going to cross your path from time to time, and that you are not invincible, which brings us to the second grandfather teaching that can help with when you're feeling frustrated from being sick is humility. Humility can help you to understand your place in the world, that the world doesn't center around you and the world is going to continue to go on even if you're sick. It helps us to feel more centered. Respect and humility are brothers and sisters, if you will, in the 7 grandfather teachings. You are just one small piece of the entire puzzle that is the universe and Mother Earth and all life. Our life and our health is fragile. Our good health can go at any moment, and it's important to take care of ourselves and ensure that we are loving ourselves. And practicing self-care brings us to the third grandfather teaching that I wanted to share, which is the teaching of love. And specifically for the purposes of recovering from an illness, practicing self-love and self-care. Every time anyone's sick, they always preach to themselves that they're going to take care of themselves, they need to take care of themselves, and it's often too late, right? They're already feeling under the weather, and that is when it hits reality that they need to take a minute to take care of themselves, ensure that they are practicing wellness in order to recover and recuperate from their cold or sickness that they're experiencing. It's incredibly important to remember that the feelings of love and happiness and caring for yourself and others can go such a long way when you're feeling down and maybe borderline experiencing sadness and depression that comes from when you're not feeling healthy. Practicing self-love and self-care when you are experiencing an illness or when you're feeling or when you have a cold can be really, really helpful. Give yourself grace to take a break and to help yourself to recharge so that when you are starting to feel better, you have more energy and you're able to show up as your best self and get back to living your healthy, regular life. So I hope that was helpful. I can't wait to hear what you do when you have a cold, if you use any of the sacred medicines, if you only use like pharmaceutical medicines, or what your sort of routine is when you're experiencing your seasonal illnesses or your seasonal cold or flu. Let me know in the comments below if you found any of these teachings and my tips helpful for when you are going through a sick period. Stay healthy, stay well, and I can't wait to read your comments, and I will see you next time.